last 23 games on the road, the phrase, "there's no place like home," is the appropriate feeling for the Rangers. From the boomstick hot dog to another sellout crowd, the friendly confines of Rangers Ballpark have never looked so good. Tonight, the Rangers sent Derek Holland to the mound as they begin a holiday week homestand with the Toronto Blue Jays. Next on TXA 21. Day weekend, the unofficial start to the summer. Officially, it feels like summer at Rangers Ballpark as the Rangers return home and open a homestand in the three-game series tonight against the Toronto Blue Jays. And welcome, Dave Barnett along with Tom Grieve. Three really interesting pitching matchups in this Toronto, Texas series. Beginning tonight with a couple of young hard throwers. It is Derek Holland for the Rangers and Brendan Morrow on the mound for the Blue Jays.
Yeah, if you haven't watched Brandon Morrow pitch before, you're in for a treat. This kid's got a great arm. His numbers the last 2 years haven't been great, but he seems like he's putting it together this season. He'll be a really tough matchup. He's 5-2 with a 2.63 ERA. You haven't seen Alvarez pitch before. Looking forward to that. We've seen Kyle Drabek a couple of times. Kid with a great arm. If he's on, he can be very tough. Of course, you know all about Holland, Lewis, and Darvish, three of the Rangers' best. So this three-game series against Toronto, Toronto's got a pretty good pitching staff. These are three of their really good young starters.
Blue Jays beat the Rangers 2 out of 3 a couple of weeks ago up at Rogers Center in Toronto, so the Rangers try to get them back beginning tonight as the homestand begins with the lineups in the first pitch coming up. Brought to you by your Texas Ford dealers. Ford is the best in Texas. By AT&T, the nation's largest 4G network. AT&T, rethink possible. And by TXU Energy, the right things right now. Call 866-CALL-TXU today. And another sellout filling Rangers ballpark in Arlington. This would be the 14th sellout of the year. There have only been 2 seasons with more than 14 sellouts. 15 in all of 1998, and the record was the first year of the ballpark, 1994, sold out 21 times. That is a record that seems destined to fall in just a few more home games. So Rangers get back from not a great road trip. They split 6 games. They are 10-12 so far in the month of May, but no one can make up ground on them in the American League Western Division. They still have a 5-game lead on their nearest pursuers, the Oakland A's. 6.5 up on the Angels and 7 games up on the Seattle Mariners. And tonight, Derek Holland going for his 4th win against 3 losses. Had a pretty good month of May overall. A win, a loss, and an ERA of just under 3 against Brandon Morrow, who's pitching about as well as he ever has. Toronto coming in off a 5-4 loss in 11 innings at Tampa Bay on a walk-off double by B.J. Upton yesterday. They are 24-21. They're 3rd in the Eastern Division, where they trail the Baltimore Orioles by 4 games. They played well on the road. They're one of 4 American League teams with winning records, both at home and away from Rogers Center.
Not sure what the delay is, Dave. My guess is Derek Holland might have had to make a restroom stop before he went out there.
You will notice
definitely got a new haircut.
That's a lighter version of Derek Holland. He probably lost about 5 pounds in that haircut. He had said by June we would see the old Derek Holland style, and that's what he will be sporting as the Rangers now take the field. Rangers in Holland's first 8 starts this year, 4-4. At home, he's 1-2. He's not pitched his best this year here at the ballpark, an ERA of 5.81. And here is the John Farrell lineup for the Blue Jays. Kelly Johnson from Austin leading off at second base. Shortstop batting second is Yunel Escobar. Jose Bautista, Major League home run leader each of the last 2 years. In right field and batting third, ahead of the DH Edwin Encarnacion. The catcher batting fifth, J.P. Arancibia. Colby Rasmus is in center. Brett Laurie batting seventh and playing third base. Yan Gomez from Brazil is batting eighth and playing first. And Rajay Davis, the former A, batting ninth in left field.
Well, Derek is 3-3 on the season. He's pitched better in May than he did in April. His last start was a tough start. He gave up 3 home runs in that game. Ended up taking the loss at Houston after the Rangers had jumped out to a 4-0 lead. Got too many pitches up and out over the plate in that game. He's going to have to correct that tonight against a little bit better hitting Blue Jay team. Right-hand hitters have only hit .219 against him, though. That's a good thing. And Derek's trying to bounce back from that start against Houston and get on a good roll.
Here's how the Ranger defense will look tonight. At outfield of David Murphy, Josh Hamilton, and Nelson Cruz. With an infield of Beltre, Andrews, Kinsler, and Young. And Mike Napoli was scratched about 3 hours before the game with a bad stomach today. So Norby Torrealba in the starting lineup at catcher. And there is Eric Cooper, our home plate umpire, with Marty Foster at first, Tim Timmons at second, and the crew chief, Jeff Kellogg, umpiring at third base. So Kelly Johnson ready to step in. Former first-round pick of the Braves out of Westwood High School down Round Rock Way. And Eric Holland is set to go. And delivers a first pitch with a high strike. It is warm. It is very windy. Wind is whistling in from right center field on a 90-degree evening. Big time jet stream factor in all likelihood. Outside corner, and it's no balls and 2 strikes.
The game against Houston, Derek had good stuff. He struck out 6 in that game. He just had a hard time locating his fastball down around the knees. Everything was up about belt high, and to the right-hand hitters, when he got wild, it was way up and away. I'm sure he worked on that between starts to make the adjustment to be able to keep that fastball down.
And Johnson goes down swinging.
You can see Torrey Alba move to the inside part of the plate. And the good sign is right there. Watch Derek throw the ball right in the glove. Tried to get the ball in on Johnson, which they did with good movement. And he really didn't come close to making contact with that pitch. Good start for Derek.
Mustache stays even as the hair departs. The new old look for Derek Holland, and he'll now face the shortstop Yunel Escobar. Wind is out of the south 8 to 10 miles an hour, gusting to 28 miles an hour. Flags look like they're at permanent gust as Escobar steps in, batting .258.
It definitely didn't bother Jason Duffner today over at Colonial.
Not much did.
He had another great outing, and he threw out the first pitch today from the top of the mound. Threw a strike to Gary Pettis. Well, he's on a pretty good roll. That's a great roll.
Here it was, as a matter of fact.
Well, you can tell by the way he threw that he's played some baseball before.
Who says golfers aren't athletes?
He's definitely thrown a baseball before.
5 of the first 6 pitches have been strikes for Derek. That one wasn't. 1 and 2.
That's the pitch he threw a lot in Houston. The pitch that just went up and away to the right-hand hitter.
I don't think that was a called shot by Escobar. He was pointing out to the outfield. I don't think he's predicting he's going to hit one there. Still 1 and 2. Jose Bautista will be next.
Yeah, I guess if you're going to predict a home run, you'd probably do it a little earlier in the count than when it's 1 ball and 2 strikes. That's take a little courage right there. Those guys aren't quite as good a hitter. In fact, no one is. 1 and 2. There's what we're talking about. Keep the ball down. Change speeds a little bit. And Escobar way out in front of that pitch. Escobar's not a big strikeout guy. He makes pretty good contact. He's only struck out 21 times. He's been up over 180 times.
So 2 up, 2 down on strikeouts, and here is Bautista. Starting to come around after a very slow start. Still batting just .230. But home runs up to 12 with 7 at his last 13 games. He's 6th in the league. And he is at 9 in the month of May. That ties him with Josh Hamilton for the major league lead. This pop-up back out of play. Ahead of everybody.
Look at the start that Toronto's had, and it's been a pretty good start, really. They've been right in the thick of things all season long without a huge help from Bautista. Adam Lind really didn't do much. 2 guys in the middle of the lineup. Those guys were hot. They'd be a different team.
Top 2 home run hitting duos in this series. Hamilton and Beltre, one better than Encarnacion and Bautista. Encarnacion on deck. Bautista waits for the 0-2 pitch and pops it up. Beltre and Andrus are there, and it blows out of play.
That gives you an idea how hard the wind is blowing. And the reason the wind affected that ball was how high it was up in the air. That ball, I think, was going to be a fair ball when he hit it. You can see the guy. You can see the guys smiling where they are underneath it right there, and all of a sudden, it ends up 5 rows in foul territory. So if it's hit really high, the wind will blow it back. If it's hit down low, then the jet stream might affect it in a positive way for the hitter. But that was a good pitch. He jammed him. Should have gotten it out. That'll be even better.
Strikes out the side. Johnson, Escobar, Bautista all swinging. So nothing for the Blue Jays. Kinsler and the Rangers coming to bat. Brandon Morrow to take on this lineup for Ron Washington and the Rangers. As usual, Ian Kinsler starts things off at second base, followed by Elvis Andrus. Josh Hamilton is at center field. Adrian Beltre at third. Michael Young at first. David Murphy in left. Cruz in right. Torrealba behind the plate. And DHing for the fourth time this year, Matty Knife, Mitch Moreland.
Brandon Morrow is on the mound for Toronto, and he's off to an excellent start. His 2.63 ERA is the sixth best in the American League. He's had at least 7 strikeouts in each of his last 5 starts. In 4 road starts this season, he's 3-0 with an ERA below 1. And his last start was a shutout of the Mets on Saturday. So he's on a great roll right now. A kid with a mid-90s fastball, hard breaking ball, split finger pitch that works like a changeup for him. A kid that has always had a great arm. He was a high pick by Seattle a few years ago. And just looks like he's starting to put it together. I kind of look at this stage of the season last year and see Derek Holland. Morrow's thrown a couple of shutouts. Derek had 4 shutouts last year, had a couple in back-to-back starts. Morrow's kind of right there himself. After showing signs of it the first couple of years, but nothing consistent like this.
People have always thought he was capable, though. Last 4 starts, a couple of 3-hit shutouts against the Angels as well as the Mets. Down low, 2 balls and a strike to Kinsler. And those who follow the Blue Jays say the key seems to be that Morrow is no longer trying to hit the high 90s with every fastball. He is practicing the less is more theory. More command with a little bit less velocity has worked out extremely well for him.
Yeah, and based on the stats, it really would bear that out. The last 2 years, no pitcher in baseball has had a better strikeout per inning ratio than Morrow. 10.5 strikeouts per 9 innings. This year, it's about 8 strikeouts per 9 innings, so it's way down from before. But the walks are down by over a walk per 9 innings, and the performance is up. So the stats would bear out exactly what you just said, Dave.
Easing off the throttle, producing better results. Kinsler waiting for the 2-2. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Doesn't walk that many batters, less than 2 walks per start on the year for Morrow. 27-year-old from Santa Rosa, California. And Kinsler hangs in. First round pick, 5th overall out of Cal Berkeley by the Mariners 2006. 3 years later came to the Blue Jays for Brandon League, Mariners closer and a minor leaguer. He was 8-12 parts of 3 seasons with Seattle. 10-7, 11-11. His first 2 years with the Blue Jays as Kinsler rips that one foul.
Yeah, I'm not so sure Seattle really had a plan with Morrow. They drafted him as a college pitcher and right off the bat tried to make him a closer. In fact, he blew a couple of saves against the Rangers in April a few years back and was demoted right off the bat from the closer's role. They bounced him around between a late inning bullpen role and a starting role to where it never looked like they really had an overall plan for him. They packaged him up in the trades you talked about for Brandon League, who's gone on to be a nice closer for Seattle. But I think it's the age-old argument. Would you rather have a top-of-the-rotation starter or a closer? And I think most people would say starter. The Rangers feel that way, trying to change Nefi Felice from a closer into a starter. And Morrow's same kind of kid, really. Same kind of arm. And you also see how he struggled the last couple of years. His ERA has been 4.49, 4.72 with that great arm. So it takes a while. It doesn't happen overnight.
The 11th pitch of the at-bat is foul back, and Kinsler making Morrow really labor here as the first batter of the first inning.
To me, that's a pitcher's nightmare. Throw good pitches, a lot of strikes, mix them up, and into the game, you're going to have to throw at least 12 pitches to get rid of the first hitter.
8 strikes already, and he can't get rid of Ian. 9 strikes. This will be at least a 13 pitch at bat.
You know, there's a lot of ways to look at this at bat. Number one, Ian has been incredibly tough on Morrow as far as moving his pitch count upward. The other side is he's had about 5 pitches right down the middle of the plate that he's pulled foul.
Pitch number 13 is ball 4.
Now with that comes an excellent at bat because you get on base. That's a frustrating at bat right there for the pitcher.
Clinic, if you're the leadoff hitter. So Ian aboard for Elvis Andrus. And Elvis, after going 1 for 12 in Seattle, is going so well before then. He's still the number 8 hitter in the American League with a .309 average.
Yeah, and I would argue that what he went in Seattle doesn't indicate how he swung the bat. There were 2 hard hit ground balls right at the second baseman and 3 line drives right at Ichiro in right field. So 5 of the outs were well hit right on the good part of the bat by Elvis, who was trying to go back through the middle and really hit the ball just like he wanted to, but hit him right at people. So if you're a hitter, you can't say to yourself, oh man, I'm in a little slump. You have to say, I'm swinging the bat good and I'm happy with the way I'm hitting it.
Laurie, the third baseman, hit on the grass as it's inside for ball 2. To Andrus. Looks like he spent a little time on his off day in the barber's chair as well. 0 for 4, 2 of the 3 games at Safeco Field. He saw his 37 starts on base streak end and his 13-game road hitting streak come to an end, but with some bad luck. And that's in there. 2 balls and a strike.
Good place to take right there. Already got a man on first with a walk, even though it was kind of an out of the ordinary walk. 2-0 count. Big guys coming up. Make them throw strikes. Make them throw a lot of pitches here.
Derek Holland needed 13 pitches total to strike out the side. This is the 17th pitch. And it gets by J.P. Arancibia, and Kinsler taking a big turn at second before he sees Arancibia locate the ball. Wild pitch charge to Morrow. And as Arancibia looked up, noticed that Kinsler was not slowing down. He picked up his pace and almost fell in our camera well down there. Ian was ready to take third if it was there to be taken. 3-1, and that's way inside, and the first 2 Rangers walk. And now Morrow gets Josh Hamilton. Looking like a mere mortal of late. 2 for 4, an RBI double in the Rangers' 3-run 8th inning on Wednesday. Still sitting on 9 home runs in the month of May, 1 off the club record. 11 games since he hit number 18 on May 12th against the Angels. And he sends that one deep to center field. Rasmus is there for the out. Both runners moving up. Andrew safe at second base as Kinsler takes third.
Well, Rasmus has a good arm too, but Elvis is a great base runner, has good speed. So 1 pitch and Josh is out, but both runners move up, and you've got Beltre coming to the plate. Josh must have hit that ball a little bit off the end of the bat. If he hit it well, it would have gone a little farther than that.
Yeah, Elvis in with some to spare, so 2 in scoring position, 1 out, and here's Adrian Beltre. Adrian, one Ranger who has been swinging the bat well. 2 for 4, a double and a 2-run homer Wednesday. 3 homers over his last 8 games and a couple of game-winning RBIs in that stretch. And 0-2. Adrian hovering around the top 10, hitting .308, 9 homers, 28 runs batted in. Rangers found hits and runs very hard to come by in Seattle. Totaled 7 runs in the 3 games. 3 straight games scoring 3 or less. First time that's happened this year. And Beltre reaches out, pokes one out to right field. Scoring Kinsler and Andrews, and it's 2-0 Rangers.
I don't know how he hit that pitch. That essentially is a waste pitch. Morrow's ahead, no balls and 2 strikes. Beltre just swung at a pitch way out of the strike zone to run the count to 0-2. Morrow obviously not trying to throw a strike right here. Throws a breaking ball. Actually, it was a strike. The way Adrian swung at that pitch, it looked like it was more outside than that, the way he reached for it. So even though it was a strike, he was at least fooled by it and still lined it into right field for a base hit. Looked the way he swung at it like it was a little more outside than that. So it was not probably as far outside as Morrow tried to throw it.
RBIs 29 and 30 for Adrian.
And if you throw it close enough to the plate, Adrian's got a chance to hit a line drive.
So here's Michael Young. First base tonight. He DH'd all 3 games in Seattle. Ron Washington said time to get him on the field. And he drives one up the middle for a base hit. Beltre hanging on at second base. 4 of the first 5 Ranger hitters reach against Brandon Morrow. And a look at our Ford leaderboard. The Rangers still the best in either league with runners in scoring position with a team average of 303, 4 points better than the Red Sox, and the Toronto Blue Jays right there at 286. So Bruce Walton, Toronto pitching coach, out for a chat, including the entire infield. 2 runs in, 2 men on, only 1 man out, and David Murphy will be next. Morrow is usually very efficient. He averages 15 pitches per inning. His next pitch to Murphy will be his 24th.
Well, the whole inning really boils down to the first at bat. Not the whole inning, but a major part of it with Ian Kinsler when he had to throw so many pitches and then walked Ian. You just have to think psychologically, maybe even physically, that at bat took a lot out of him.
Took 13 pitches out of him.
So much so that he walked Elvis quickly right after that.
And the first pitch misses to David. Was it Morrow well? Just missed with that one. 2 balls and no strikes. Murphy on the road trip had 3 hits in 15 trips. 2 of them were home runs back home in Houston. One of those, a 3-run inside the park home run. 23rd inside the park home run Rangers franchise history. Got Beltre at second, Young at first. 1 down and 2 already in. And that finds the corner. 2 balls and a strike.
Hey, threw an off-speed pitch. 2-0. Dropped it in on the outside corner. Near the outside corner anyway.
Tried to. That is definitely outside. 3 balls and a strike. Morrow coming in had allowed 2 earned runs on the road in 28 2/3 innings. 2 already here. Maybe more on the way. Third 3-ball count. And Murphy fouls it back, and it's 3-2. Rangers had a 5-run first inning Sunday at Houston. Shutout in 31 of their last 35 innings. 14 1, 2, 3 innings. This inning, they look more like the Rangers. The arrest appeared to do him good. Murphy stays alive.
Yeah, and Ian really hasn't been walking a lot, so that was a great sign in the first inning, that long at bat that resulted in a walk.
Set the tone. Took second on the wild pitch. Ian Andrews scored on the base hit to the opposite field by Beltre. Morrow's 3-2 pitch to Murphy. Fouled off. Is it Kinsler revisited? Morrow may be wondering.
David's going to put the same at bat on him right here.
He's at 30 pitches. 19 strikes.
You think he's trying to pitch David away?
There's a trend developing to support that theory.
Closest pitch to a strike was barely a strike.
And there is the third walk of the inning to load the bases for Nelson Cruz. Nelly on the road trip 5 out of 22. No homers. He drove in 3 runs. He went 0 for 9 at Seattle, his first hitless series of the year. And Morrow to this point has had his number, 1 for 13 with 6 strikeouts. Nelly hoping he can turn it around his way right here, make for a big first inning. He takes the first pitch high and tight.
After the 3 walks, if you're a hitter, you just really have to zero in and get your pitch. Make him throw you a strike.
33rd pitch of the first. Did that hit him? Came awfully close.
I don't know how it missed him. Or how Aaron Sibia caught it. Take a look.
Did that graze his jersey? Boy, it looked close.
Must not. That's amazing that that ball didn't hit him. And that Aaron Sibia, who had to be blocked from seeing the ball, was able to catch it.
2 balls and no strikes. Cruz should get something to hit here, and he fouls it off. Beltre at third after a 2-run single. Young at second after his single. Murphy at first after his walk. One out. This will be the 35th pitch from Brandon Morrow. And it's a base hit to right center field, headed up the alley to the wall. Beltre is home. Young right behind him. Murphy being waved home. He's safe. It's a 3-run double for Cruz and a 5-run Ranger first.
Well, when you're not swinging the bats the way you want to, and I would say on the road trip that would describe the Ranger offense, it's great to come out and get 2 hits like they've had in this inning. 2 big hits. Second and third single by Beltre. Bases loaded line shot by Nelly Cruz on a pretty good pitch down and away. That's a great sign that Nelly drives that ball to right center field. And already you've had the 2 kind of hits that were missing on the road trip.
Aspas got it back in quickly as he could. Same with a relay. And here's the 8th Ranger to bat here in the first inning, and it is ball 1 to Yorvit Torrealba. It's been a while since Nelly Cruz has had cause signal in second base after a big hit, and already up in their bullpen right-hander Carlos Villanueva.
Yeah, already starting to approach 40 pitches.
Already or only now? That ground ball to Laurie for out number 2. The Rangers will bat around here in the first as Mitch Moreland, DHing batting ninth, will step up.
Well, from the Little League on up, the one thing that you hear as a pitcher is that walks will kill you. And Morrow has walked 3 in the first inning, and all 3 of them have scored. Ian's at bat just set the tone for the whole inning. and then 2 clutch hits.
He has not walked more than 4 in a game. He's had 5 games of 1 or no walks. 2 games of exactly 3. And 3 here in the first have all come back to bite him. Mitch batting .277, 7 home runs. And on a bit of a home run tear of late. 3 of his last 11 at bats he's gone deep. Morrow was up near the very first inning Yu Darvish ever pitched as a major leaguer. That went over 40 pitches. Morrow is about to throw his 39th. And foul back, 1 ball and 1 strike. Long period for Derek Holland to sit and wonder when he's going to take the mound again. Not that he minds watching all these Rangers cross the plate for him.
No, you'll have to like the runs, but I think if you're Derek, you're sitting there trying to block that part out and just concentrate like it's a 0-0 game when you go back out there and just build off your great first inning where he struck out the side, and don't start thinking about what the score is.
That's belted and gets past Rasmus, knocks it forward, and he will hold Moreland to first base as another run comes home. Cruz makes it 6-0.
Well hit ball right there by Mitch. 3 well hit balls with him in scoring position. Adrian had to reach out to get his, but he still stroked it solidly to right field. And Mitch got a pitch that got a lot of the plate. And if you're Rasmus, you say, hey, they've already got 5. I got to go try to catch this ball. Blocked it with his wrist to keep it from being an extra base hit.
He thought it was behind him by the time he found it. Cruz was crossing the plate. Moreland scrambling back to first, and here's the man who started it all with the 13-pitch walk, Ian Kinsler. He's the most earned runs in a road game for Morrow.
Is it as many as he's given up the whole year?
Since May 21st, 2010 at Arizona. Well hit, hooking, and foul.
Well, if his ERA in 4 road games this year is .063, it has to be more road runs than he's given up the whole year on the road. By probably a couple. Hard to keep that ball fair. The fastball tailing in on him. 43rd pitch.
Nice stop by Aaron Sebia. Morrow on the road this year started April 7th at Cleveland. 1 hit, no earned runs, 2 runs, 7 innings. The 23rd at Kansas City, 1 run, 6 2/3. 3 hit shutout at the Angels. 1 run, 6 innings at Oakland. And then there is tonight. And that's well hit to center field. Rasmus turns his back. It's over his head and off the wall. Moreland will be held at third. It's a double for Kinsler, and the first inning rolls on for the Rangers.
That's got to be it right there. I think that's the coup de grace. John Farrell wanted to give his young starter every opportunity to get out of the first inning. You mentioned Yu Darvish. Darvish snuck out of the first inning of that game and ended up pitching into the 6th inning. That's what John Farrell was hoping for, but Brandon Morrow just couldn't get that last out.
For a moment, looked as if Rasmus might be able to run that one down. And for Morrow, thus endeth the shortest outing of his career as a starter. 2/3 of an inning. And Carlos Villanueva coming in to try and stem this tide. Already 6-0 Texas. The shortest previous outing of his career as a starter, 1 2/3. May 10th, 2010 at Boston, and he gives way to the 28-year-old from Santiago, Dominican Republic, Carlos Villanueva.
Well, this is a game Villanueva definitely didn't expect to be in the first inning. No one does, for that matter. But with Morrow on the mound, the way he's been pitching, it's probably as far from his mind as anything could be. Morrow's earned run average went from 263 up to over 340. And it could go higher if these 2 runs score on a base hit right here by Elvis.
Yeah, he was 6th in the league at 263. He was the 4th toughest pitcher to hit in the league. The opponent average was 192. The Rangers get 5 hits and 3 walks. One of those worked by Andrews. And no balls and 2 strikes. Villanueva's been very tough, scored on only 3 of his first 14 outings this year. A righty who is especially hard on left-handed hitters. They are 182 against him. Right-handed hitters, not quite so tough, 267. Morrow threw 44 pitches and got 2 outs. 0-2 to Elvis. He keeps the inning going. Hamilton would be next. Moreland at 3rd, Kinsler at 2nd. And Elvis trying to hold up, fouls that one back. Five-run first inning Sunday at Houston, and then very little offense in the 3 games at Seattle, and the dam bursts here after first day off in some 3 weeks. After the maximum 20 games scheduled in a 20-day period, finally ran its course Wednesday. Let that one go wide, 1-2. Villanueva, originally signed by the Giants. They sent him on to the Brewers. Brought him up in 06 with Milwaukee through 2010. Second year with the Blue Jays. And Elvis goes down swinging. And what had to seem like an endless bottom of the first finally comes to an end. Not before the Rangers put 6 runs on the board for Derek Holland. something, and also ready to welcome Joel Thomas.
Thanks, Dave. Good to be back with you on Friday Night Baseball. Fans up here in the community corner really enjoying the crooked numbers up on the board. We wanted to tell you that Texas native and founder of Just Keep Living Foundation, Matthew McConaughey, and his fiancee will be in the ballpark June 15th. They're going to have a special pregame event to support the Just Keep Living Foundation. That foundation promotes after-school fitness and nutrition programs in area high schools. For tickets or more information, go to texasrangers.com/foundation or call 817-436-5933. Dave?
Well, finally, Derek Holland gets to take the mound again after well over a half hour of Ranger offense. He disposed of Johnson, Escobar, and Bautista all on the swinging strike threes. And now it's Edwin Encarnacion, the DH. Hitting .269, 14 homers and 37 runs batted in. 14 homers, tied for second in the league. He's second in runs batted in. Ranked in several other areas, having a terrific year. This one has popped up into shallow right field, and Cruz over a few steps toward the line for the first out.
Already in this game, Derek has made big improvements with his command from the last game in Houston that we've already talked about. He's thrown 16 pitches, 13 of them have been strikes, and most of them have been quality strikes right around the catcher's mitt where he's been trying to throw them. So early, it's only 4 outs, but the results of the work between starts are evident through an inning and a third anyway.
Here's the catcher, J.P. Arancibia, who takes high. And another Blue Jay having a pretty solid year. 7 homers, second among American League catchers. 26 RBIs, also second for his position. And this is the first 2-ball count so far for Holland. 6 of those homers this month, and this is the best power month of Arancibia's career. That one foul right back off of Eric Cooper's mask.
Seems like we see that every game. If it's not the umpire, it's the catcher.
Always seem to shake it off.
Well, that one got him in the chest.
A little lower.
Where else can you get him? How about the shoulder? Eric Cooper's a tough guy back there. He didn't even flinch. Took one off the mask. Next one, he did take it off the shoulder. Reaches into his pocket, grabs the ball, throws it back, and digs back in. Attaboy, Eric. Good pitch. Not a strike, but a good pitch. Tried to pound him inside and just missed. Where Veet is on the inside corner. That one's just a little bit too much inside. Good try, though.
So 3-2. And Arancibia down on the foul tip. Torrealba hangs on to Holland's 4th strikeout. Ranger fans, don't forget to text your thoughts on Wash's call to Mark McLemore at 469-209-2121. If you read your text in the postgame show tonight, you will win a $50 sporting goods gift card from Metro PCS. The text again, 469-209-2121. So 5 up and 5 down, and here's the center fielder Colby Rasmus, who has emerged from the worst slump of his career the last 4 games. Rips that one fair past Young and into the corner. Cruz gives chase, and it's a 2-out double for Rasmus. Now 6 for his last 16 after an 0 for 20 worst slump he has yet endured.
Well, that was a good swing against a left-handed pitcher. Jumps on the first fastball that he saw. Pretty good pitch to hit, pretty good swing to go along with it. Rasmus has always been a top prospect, high draft choice. Got to the big leagues with the Cardinals when he was young, real young. Traded away to the Blue Jays, who believe in him. They'll give him a chance to develop. And if the development parallels the talent that he's got, then it should be pretty good for him.
Brett Laurie.
Oh!
Pulled in by Cruz. Are you kidding me?
He stuck his glove up just in case the ball went into it. This is something.
There it is. What do you know? Out number 3. Routine for Nelly.
That's getting robbed right there.
Brought to you by Sports City Toyota. And Josh Hamilton leading off the Rangers second. Josh flied to center, and the only pitch he saw from Morrow in the first. Takes in tight from Villanueva. Took over to get the long-awaited third out of that first inning by striking out Andrews.
This is the deepest I think we've seen the shift against Josh. Lowry, the third baseman, is out in right field. Shortstop stays at short. Second baseman stays at second. Just a variation on the shift that almost every team utilizes against Josh.
This is getting pretty close to softball positioning.
The short fielder. I don't think he can throw him out on a chopper ground ball. But he might take away a line drive double. Won't take that away.
Way up and way out in the upper porch. Number 19 for Josh Hamilton. Games since he had last gone deep on May 12th against the Angels.
Well, you can put the shift on, but you can't play someone in the stands. Josh hit the ball pretty well his first time up. He lined out to center field, but that pitch probably not going to get Josh out very often. A belt high pitch out over the plate.
Here is Beltre, who had a big 2-run single in the first. Only question how high up in the upper porch. 3 rows. Familiar territory for Josh Hamilton.
Oh man, it dropped a Josh Hamilton home run ball.
May get another chance.
That's right.
In tight, 2 balls and a strike.
Fans love the Beltre shuffle. The little foot dance he does on those pitches inside. A little bit like the Ron Washington shuffle when he's waving a guy around from the dugout.
Villanueva working a little too slowly for Adrian's taste. 7 runs on 6 hits for the Rangers. Blue Jays have countered with 1 hit. Fouled off his foot, 2-2. Tom, we remarked Wednesday about how this Ranger team looked like a team at the end of a road trip and at the end of a really tough piece of scheduling, and this now looks like the Ranger team that started the year 15-4, energized after a day off, back home, sellout crowd.
Yeah, I don't think there's a player or a coach or anyone in the traveling group that would say anything other
high and deep, but hooking foul.
Then that was a well-deserved and needed off day. When you consider during those 20 days there were 2 early morning arrivals, one at 5 and one at 4 within 10 days, a doubleheader, a game with a 2-hour rain delay, and a day game the next day, and no off days for those guys. That was a tough stretch. So I think coming home and having the off day was definitely an energizing thing.
Beltre down on strikes. Villanueva's outs have been on strikeouts.
I want to thank Shirley Coast for today's cranberry chocolate with walnut cookies. Thank you very much to the cookie lady. John Carter from Salina, Texas is celebrating a birthday here at the ballpark. Happy birthday, John.
Michael Young singled on the first pitch he saw. Ripped it right up the middle.
And Shirley Manasco is 80 today. Shirley is from Kemp, Texas. She taught music to elementary students for 30 years. She keeps a spiral notebook recording Ranger stats in it.
The roller to Kelly Johnson for out number 2.
Loves the Rangers, and she's at home having a party right now. They're all watching the game on TV with hot dogs, peanuts, Cracker Jacks, and cotton candy. So happy birthday, Shirley. From all your family, hope you have a great party, and I know you like the way the game's going so far.
And here is Murphy. Hamilton's homer is 10th in the month of May. That ties a franchise record. A-Rod did it once. Juan Gonzalez had 2 10-home run months of May. And the shot into the upper porch, 405 feet for Josh. David Murphy walked his first time up. He looks at strike 2. Also gets Josh to 50 runs batted in on his 19th home run. 0-2 pitch from Villanueva. And he gets Murphy swinging. He has 3 strikeouts, but he has also seen Hamilton take him deep. After 2, 7-0 Rangers.
for one of our all-time favorites, one of our cameramen, Steve Tennyson. That's Jay Lindstrom taking Steve's place out in center field with a sign. Get well soon, Steve, and bring me a cheeseburger. That is Steve's go-to line right there. So thank you, Jay, from all of your friends back here. We're all thinking about you, Steve. I know you had some serious surgery. The word is that you're doing well. So from all your buddies back here at the ballpark, we're all thinking about you. Hope you get well soon. Can't wait to see you back at the ballpark.
Not the same here without tennis shoe.
Nope.
Strike one to Yan Gomez. Called up from AAA Las Vegas just last Thursday for his major league debut and making history in the process. He is the first Brazilian-born major leaguer. Native of Sao Paulo, 24. Family moved to Florida when he was 12. Went to Miami Southridge High School.
You have to think he hadn't played a whole lot of baseball before he got here. Pretty good development.
On to the University of Tennessee for a couple of years. All SEC there with the Vols. From there to, tell me if you've heard of this. I have not. Berry University in Miami.
I saw that, and I have not heard of it.
Went there because he was blocked at catcher at Tennessee by his teammate, the Blue Jays catcher, J.P. Arancibia.
Isn't that funny how things work? Can't leave the Blue Jays, though, because of that.
No. He could play first base for the Blue Jays.
There's no transferring in baseball.
Looks at strike three. Fifth strikeout for Derek Holland.
5 strikeouts, 2 on fastballs. That's the 3rd on a breaking ball. 2 of them swinging. This one taking. Almost all 3 sliders, same location. Down and in like that. Great pitch by Derek.
Brings up Rajai Davis, number 9 hitting left fielder. Hitting .241, 2 homers and 8 runs batted in. With a former Oakland A. Toronto got him last year for a couple of minor league pitchers.
Took something off that pitch. That's another good sign. Not only the location, but the mixing up of his pitches.
About that ratio, Tom?
That's perfect. That's hard work and determination between starts to bounce back from that start. Derek said he was very disappointed in his start. He wasn't happy with himself. And so to see him bounce back, it's still early. There's a lot of baseball left to be played. So 7 outs into the game, he's throwing the ball fine.
Disappointed because he had a 4-0 lead in Houston and couldn't hang on to it.
For sure.
Season high 3 home runs. Lost 6-5. And a check swing keeps Davis alive. Lasted 5 innings, 5 runs on 5 hits, only 2 of which did not leave the yard. Not your aggressive stroke there by Davis.
No, but he's hanging in there anyway. You might see that slider down and in. There it is. Didn't quite get it in. Fooled him, though.
That was Derek's first start in 9 days. He got some rest time in, 1 relief appearance. Hoping he's got plenty in the second half of the season. This chopper fielded by Ian Kinsler for out number 2. And the first time through the Blue Jays, only 1 man reaches. That was Colby Rasmus on a 2-out double in the second. Back up top now to begin the second time through with Kelly Johnson, who struck out to begin the game. Blue Jays have seen Derek Holland at his best. 4-hit shutout last July 30th up at Rogers Center. First pitch a little bit low to Johnson. Kelly now 30. First round pick by the Braves. Out of Westwood High School. 2000. With Atlanta 05 through 09. Best year was with the Diamondbacks as a free agent, 2010. 26 homers, 71 RBIs in his only full season with Arizona. That included hitting for the cycle July 2 years ago. Blue Jays got him for a couple of infielders, Aaron Hill and John McDonald, last August. Pulled foul, and it's 2-2.
Johnson, another one of those leadoff hitters that can hit the ball out of the ballpark. Catch and release. Thank you very much. Fist bump. Appreciate it.
Tom, I think they're learning from you.
That's nice. Now that's just the good in human nature right there. Nice to see it shine through for something like a baseball that's coveted by so many people. None more than a child, though.
Here's the 3-2, and it is a base hit into right field. Second hit for the Blue Jays. And Kelly Johnson now has reached base in 19 consecutive games. He's got to pitch up and out over the plate.
Johnson had a big home run against the Rangers up in Toronto. Can't remember the exact circumstances. I just remember it was late in the game and a big home run.
3-run homer against Feliz.
Is that what it was?
In the game they ended up winning 8-7. On a Brett Laurie walk-off homer against Mike Adams. That's all I remember.
That's a lot.
Escobar rounds into the inning-ending fielder's choice. Thinking about your tennis shoe? Is brought to you by Sports City Toyota. Go to sportscitytoyota.com. We'll deliver anywhere in Texas. And by Whataburger, proud to serve it hot and fresh 24 hours a day. 6-run first inning and a Josh Hamilton leadoff homer in the second. As the Rangers rolling 7-0. Bottom third of the order here in the third to begin with Nelson Cruz, who had the big hit of the first. A bases loaded, bases clearing double. 24th through 26th runs batted in on the year for Nelly. He's also made a circus catch. It's crammed in about as much as you can in 2.5 innings of work. Many RBIs as he had on the entire road trip. On one swing of the bat on a 2-1 pitch from Brandon Morrow. Carlos Villanueva came on after a double by Ian Kinsler on his 44th and final pitch. He struck out Andrews to end the first. 2 strikeouts in addition to the Hamilton homer in the second. And 1 and 2 now to Cruz. Torrealba next, and then Moreland. Here it was. Perfectly splitting Rasmus and Bautista out in right center field.
If you watch Villanueva closely, every now and then you'll see him speed up his delivery. It's almost like a quick pitch. Sometimes it's a slow, steady delivery, and every now and then, right in the middle of it, he jumps quickly toward home plate. That's his steady delivery right there.
And he gets Cruz swinging. That's 4 strikeouts among the 5 outs he has recorded. Things have actually bounced in front of the plate. Got Cruz to wave at it. 1 gone in the third. He'll bring up Torrealba.
I'm sure he does that to disrupt the timing of the hitter, to vary the look that the hitter sees during his delivery, make it harder to time his pitches.
Yorvi grounded to third in the first. Not much time on the road trip for Torrealba. Just 1 for 3. He also walked and was hit by a pitch. Mike Napoli originally in the lineup. Scratched a couple hours before first pitch with a bad stomach today. Ron Washington hopes he'll be able to go tomorrow. A 2:05 start, by the way, both tomorrow and Sunday. 2 balls and no strikes. Colby Lewis and Henderson Alvarez tomorrow. Sunday afternoon, it's Yu Darvish and Kyle Drabek. Villanueva drops that one in, 2-1. Rangers played great in April in day games. They were 6-0, not quite the same in May. They're 1-5. That is well hit. Can it stay fair? Gone! First homer of the year for Yorvi Torrealba. 8-0.
Villanueva's pitching pretty good, pretty well. Struck out 4, but he also served up 2 long balls.
Some guys really happy to see Yorvi Torrealba with a good result here in which he has struggled. That's only his 4th RBI for the season. No question if he had enough, would it stay fair? And it did. And here is Mitch Moreland, who singled in a run in his first trip.
Would it stay fair? Just barely. Hooked around the foul pole. No doubt about the distance, though. Good feeling for Yorvi.
Which leans back, sends that one foul. Ball and a strike. Mitch got it going a few weeks back, and he has kept it going. His last 23 games hitting .354, and he has doubled his batting average. It was .139. And he came in tonight at .277. He's already raised it 7 points. As he grounds this one to the second baseman Johnson. There's the second out. Follow the Rangers with the MLB.com at Bat 12 app for your iPhone, iPad, Android, BlackBerry, and Windows Mobile. Get live audio, pitch tracking, video highlights, and more. Text at BAT to 31826 or visit TexasRangers.com for details. 373 feet on the homer by Torrealba. And for the 3rd time, Ian Kinsler. Really set the tone with a 13-pitch walk to begin the Ranger first. Took second on a wild pitch. After an Andrews walk, they both scored on a single by Beltre, and the Rangers were off and running. Later batted and doubled still in the first inning. That was pitch that chased Brandon Morrow. His 44th. He had now hit in 8 of his last 10 games. That floater ends up wide for a ball. And back inside, 2 balls and a strike. Villanueva's got 4 strikeouts and 2 grounders to second. And 2 homers. Solo shots by Hamilton and Torrealba. Drops in that breaking ball, 2-2. Rest of the division, late starts tonight. Oakland hosting the Yankees, and the Angels are at Seattle. Irvin Santana against Blake Bevan at Seattle. Ivan Nova and Tyson Ross in Oakland. And Kinsler, the 5th strikeout victim. 2 to 3rd innings for Villanueva. Yorvi Torrealba's first home run of the year. And the Ranger third makes it 8-0. The game is Toyota of Dallas, your Toyota connection. Hey, Brennan and Tom Grieve, and a Tom Grieve fan needing a cookie, please.
Let's see, have we got any left over there? Oh, man, I think they're gone.
51st birthday, no cookie? That's a shame.
Happy birthday. I'm sorry I can't come through with a cookie tonight. Shirley Coast's batch of chocolate cherry walnut cookies went quickly.
So the 4th inning begins with a strike to Jose Bautista, who struck out in the first inning, in which Holland struck out the side. 5 strikeouts through 3 for Derek.
Come by in the 3rd inning of most games, though, and we can accommodate you with pretty much any kind of cookie you want. Just not tonight.
Bautista did not have much of a month of April, but starting to look like himself over the last couple of weeks with those numbers.
I take that back. We have a stash in the freezer. So if someone calls her on her cell phone, tell her she can come by the booth and get one of Radigan's Radical cookies. I'm sure John won't mind.
Bautista under that one, and the wind catches it. Murphy has to come in to make the grab. Let's check in with Joel.
All right, we're here with Jason Duffner, and for folks that don't know, Jason right now won the Nelson last week and is on top of the leaderboard for the Colonial. You'd be the first guy to win them back-to-back in the same year since Ben Hogan. What is it about Texas? Is it the wind, the courses? What's going on?
Yeah, everything's been just kind of clicking the last couple weeks. I've been playing some real good golf during the season, and happy to be in the Dallas area, playing some more good golf. So, just a combination of a lot of things have let me be successful.
Well, you had another honor tonight, and that was being able to throw out the honorary first pitch. What was that like?
Yeah, that was a lot of fun. A little bit nervous. Of course, everybody's in your ear telling you not to bounce it in there. And you're thinking before it happens, is that even possible? But, I got it over the plate, and you didn't have to move the glove too much. So it was a great honor to come out here and do that and have a little fun.
What was more nerve-wracking, throwing the first pitch or chasing Ben Hogan?
Definitely playing golf and chasing Ben Hogan. I'm not a baseball player by profession, so even if I were to bounce it a little bit, I could probably get away with it.
You ever played baseball before?
Yeah, I played a lot growing up, up until about high school age. So just like all the kids here today, I dreamed of being a baseball player when I was younger.
Was that kind of a kid dream for you to be able to throw out the pitch like that?
Yeah, definitely.
Encarnacion gunned down by David Murphy. What looked like a double all the way. David had other ideas.
There might be an outfield in baseball that can boast the same kind of arm strength as the Rangers. I doubt it. But I don't think there's another outfield as a group that can throw people out like the Rangers. And there's a big difference. A lot of guys have strong arms, but can you get rid of it, throw it accurately, and make it the kind of throw that's easy for the infielder to handle? And that's kind of the recipe right there. Perfect one-hop strike to second base to get, I'm sure, a shocked Encarnacion who thought he had a double. Great throw by David. Whether it's Josh or Nelly, Craig Gentry, whoever's out there.
That's a fair ball.
2 outs on those. No.
Safe at first as the throw pulls Young off the bag.
It would have been 2 outs on what looked like 2 extra base hits.
This is an infield. Nope, they're going to say E5 on the throw.
Yeah, I think the reason is because Adrian handled it so easily, and even though it was a long throw, he pulled Michael off the bag.
So first error of the game. Arancibia at first, 2 outs, and here's Rasmus, who doubled his first time up.
There's been a couple of defensive gems already in the game. Nelly's catch was mind-boggling. That throw by David was beautiful as well.
In there for a strike. Error number 4 on the year for Beltre. If you're going to make an error, make it when it's 8-0, though. And when you have had a hand in building the 8-0 lead, I suppose. 1-1 pitch to Rasmus. Roll foul, the broken bat. It's 1-2. Adrian Beltre spoils us, though. We see him make that play over and over again, and we just assume he's always going to make the play. Occasionally proves human. Even so, Young did well to bring that throw in and scramble and almost beat Arancibia to the bag. He made it a close play. That assist by Murphy, Tom, the 8th outfield assist for the Rangers. That is the 2nd most in the American League.
Yeah, I'm not surprised to hear that. I'm just surprised that there's someone with more.
Oakland has 10. They've got just a couple more. So with a new weapon and a 1-ball 2-strike count with 2 outs, here's Rasmus. 53rd pitch of the night for Holland. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Blue Jays have been a tough opponent for the Rangers. They won 5 of the last 7, 15 of 22, 2010 right up to today. 6 of their last 9 meetings here in Arlington going to the Blue Jays. That's low for a full count. Overall, though, this is the closest of series. All time, the Rangers have beaten Toronto 190 times, and the Blue Jays have beaten Texas 189 times. Blue Jays last lost a season series back in 06. Lifted high and deep toward the right field corner. Cruz is there, and he makes the catch. And that takes care of the 4th. A hit, an error, and a man left, and it's still 8-0. It's brought to you by your Texas Ford dealers. Ford is the best in Texas. The Ranger 4th, Andrews, Hamilton, and Beltre. Carlos Villanueva on since the final out of the 1st inning, when the Rangers got 6 of their 8 runs and chased Brandon Morrow. He has allowed homers to Hamilton and Torrealba. Elvis walked and scored in the 1st and struck out to end the 1st as the first batter Villanueva faced. Blue Jays 3rd in the East, 4 games behind Baltimore, which is shutting out Kansas City at Camden Yards. 6-0 in the bottom of the 7th inning. Baltimore, the best record in the American League by 1 game over the Rangers.
They're still not showing any signs of giving it up yet.
Andrews works a 4-pitch walk. And that will bring up Hamilton. Fly to center in the 1st, and then leading off the 2nd, hit a 2-0 pitch 405 feet into the upper porch. 19th homer in game number 46, and that is a Ranger Club record. Previous mark was A-Rod, who had 17 homers in the first 46 games of the 2001 season. Here it was.
High changeup. Turned into a high home
First player to have 19 in his team's first 46 games since A-Rod with the Yankees at 19 in 07. Pop up here out into shallow left. The only infielder over there is the shortstop Escobar, and he's got the first out. So Josh 1 for 3, and they'll bring up Beltre. Adrian really got the first inning rolling with a 2-run single on an 0-2 pitch, scoring Kinsler and Andrews, who had both walked. Last time up, he struck out. Villanueva out there for a while. Morrow threw 44 pitches, unable to get through the first, and Villanueva has now thrown 44. And we're 2 2/3 innings. But missing on every pitch he's thrown here in the fourth, except for the one that Hamilton popped up.
At Villanueva coming into this game, it appeared in 14 games and only thrown 17 innings. So he's kind of a 1-inning guy with occasionally an inning and a third or two. Did have a strikeout per inning, but he's not accustomed to being a long man.
Drops in a good curve there. That's a strike, and it's 2-1. First of 3 between these two, second series of the year. Blue Jays took the series a few weeks ago up in Canada. That's a base hit. Andrews around to third, and after a big turn, Beltre holds with his second single of the night. And with one out, Rangers on the corners for Michael Young.
First baseman, Michael Young.
Beltre made that look like a pretty good pitch to hit. It was actually a little bit inside. So he's had a single on a pitch inside to left field and a single on a pitch, barely a strike, on the outside part of the plate to right field. That's kind of the hitter he is. Hit the ball where it's pitched, use the whole field, drive the ball in the gaps.
Curve misses to Michael, who singled and scored in the first and grounded to second in the second. Blue Jays hoping for a double play here. 8 runs on 8 hits. 1 error, 2 left for the Rangers. No runs on only 3 hits. And 3 left for Toronto. Just missed. 2 balls and no strikes. They don't think Michael's going to hit one much toward left center or pull one down the line in left based on this radical shifting.
Yeah, that's usually the way. Maybe not quite that much, but they play, the center fielder generally plays Michael to right center field. Michael hits a lot of balls to right field, but when he does hit one over short, got a chance to split the outfielders for sure.
If he gets one into the left field corner, he may just keep running. Rajai Davis is a ways over into the left center gap. So 2 balls and a strike to Young. Came over from the Blue Jays almost 12 years ago. July 19th will be the anniversary. Low, 3 balls and a strike. First base tonight, Ron Washington saying before the game, but pretty soon he hopes to get Michael Knight at second base, let Ian Kinsler DH. It's not what Michael to get stale just DHing as he did in Seattle all 3 games. Foul and 3-2. Ron Washington on his off day, what do you expect he did? You'll never
I don't
guess
know.
it. He watched 6 movies that he had been stacking up.
In other words, he rested.
Yes.
Well, he earned the rest after managing for 20 straight days.
Hadn't even had a chance to unwrap them, but he watched them almost back to back.
Wow.
6 movies. The accent was on action at the Ron Washington Film Festival
I've
yesterday.
watched maybe 3, but I don't think I have ever gone over that.
Ball in the dirt. Michael swings at it for out number 2. Strikeout number 6 for Villanueva.
Ball is being given to a little boy.
Whoa!
Wow, to play some catch. Throw it back.
Didn't quite get the concept. Not quite yet.
Well, he's probably been taught to play catch, get a ball, throw it. He's just playing the game. Glad he wasn't in the upper deck.
So 2 outs. Here's Murphy. I think they're going to give it back to him. David walked and scored in the first and struck out to end the second. He also has a very impressive outfield assist. Gunning down Edwin Encarnacion, trying to stretch a single into a double in the top half of the inning. This line shot right to Bautista in right field. A hard hit third out. The Rangers leave runners on the corners in their half of the fourth. It's still 8-0. For kids, we're going to see all 8 of them. Beltre 2-run single, Cruz 3-run double, a Moreland RBI single, and that was the 6-run first inning. Second inning, leadoff home run, Josh Hamilton 405 feet to the upper porch. In the third, with 1 out, first homer of the year, Yorvit Torrealba 373 feet, yanked it down the line. Right off the car, not the kid. That's what you've missed, as well as outstanding pitching, 3-hit shutout through 4 from Derek Holland in the bottom third of the order in the top half of the 5th inning for the Blue Jays. Brett Lawrie victimized by, if not the catch of the year by Ranger, a strong nominee. Ball run down by Nelson Cruz to end the second.
I think it's the best play of the year, just because almost every other play, at least the fielder could see the ball. Nelly caught that ball with his back to the plate. Had an idea where the ball was, but right at the end, he just put his glove up in the air in case the ball was anywhere near it, and it went right in the glove.
Base hit to center here for Lawrie. And the Blue Jays have a hit each of their last 4 innings after Holland struck out the side in the first.
This ball Gets caught in the jet stream, too. It fools Nelly at first. He makes an adjustment. It's over his head. He just puts his glove up, and in the glove it goes.
To his astonishment.
That's great. I love that play.
So TXU Energy replay. TXU Energy, the right things right now.
It was graceful, too.
Young Gomes struck out looking his first trip. Gomes, as we said, first native of Brazil ever to play in the majors. As of last Thursday, called up from Las Vegas for his major league debut.
You know, when you talk about a play that could be the best play of the year, that's very subjective. What one person sees as the best catch, another doesn't even think it's in the same league with another play. But you can go pretty much all the way around the infield and pick a play that could easily be the best play of the year. You could pick several that Elvis has made acrobatically at shortstop. You could pick all the diving plays in the outfield. One of the plays that Josh made diving into the wall. Well, there's a lot of choices, and it doesn't mean anyone is right or wrong when you pick one that you like the best. It's just a matter of the way you see it.
But the thing about that catch is there has not been a catch like that or even close to that in its execution.
Now, degree of difficulty, I've got to rate that one right up there.
There have been diving catches, there have been wall climbing catches, but nothing like that.
And all the other ones, the outfielder had the eye on the ball. That one, the only thing that saw the ball was the back of Nelly's head and the glove.
Morrill, you think the ball's over your head, stick your glove up, it might stick.
That's right, you never know.
And now where everything is going right for the Rangers. After kind of a sour ending to a 3-3 road trip. Things have been set right in the first 4 innings tonight. Gomes stays alive at 0-2. Davis will be next. Then the top of the order, Kelly Johnson. And when it's 8-0 in the 5th, sometimes you get the wave. And in this case, you have a capacity house waving their way around the ballpark. Down swinging. Second time for Gomes. 6th strikeout of the night for Holland.
And he gets him with a breaking ball. More like a curveball than the slider that he's gotten several strikeouts with. Big leg kick for Gomes. Came up empty on that off-speed pitch.
It's a 6-pitch at bat. All 6 pitches were strikes from Derek.
16 balls, 48 strikes. That's a 3-to-1 ratio that you don't see very often in a game.
Davis pops up the first pitch and tracking it into short right. Kinsler has the second out. So back to the top of the order, and the second baseman Kelly Johnson, who has struck out and singled. First pitch strikes from Derek Holland to 13 of the first 18 Blue Jay hitters. And there's another one in there at the knees.
Two-thirds fastballs. That's pretty normal ratio, I would guess, for Derek.
Got the outside corner, and it's 0-2. That's 10 straight strikes for Holland.
Nice turnaround, as we mentioned, between this game and Houston.
And a little pop up out to shallow left. In comes Murphy. 13 pitch inning, 12 strikes for Holland. Cruz to lead off the Ranger fifth. SAT trivia question. What is the American League record for consecutive pinch hits in a single season? And responsible for that record in the house tonight. As the Ranger fifth features the bottom third of the order, and Nelson Cruz to lead things off. 3-run double and a run scored in the Rangers' 6-run first inning. Struck out leading off the third. Carlos Villanueva has been out there since the last out of the first inning. He's at 56 pitches now, 32 for strikes. And has given up 3 hits, 2 of which left the yard. Hamilton and Torrealba solo shots in the second and the third. That one gets through the hole, and it's a 2-hit night for Cruz. Our next Verizon Wireless Fireworks Friday is June 15th when the Lone Star Series comes to Rangers Ballpark here in Arlington. Verizon Wireless Fireworks Fridays offering $10 upper level tickets, $10 cash parking, and a post-game fireworks show. Just enter Verizon as the coupon code on TexasRangers.com.
Villanueva started 13 games last year for Toronto, had over 100 innings pitched. So a longer outing is not something he's unaccustomed to, just not this year. Pitching in much shorter stints. 14 appearances, 17 innings than he's accustomed to.
Yorvi Torrealba homered with 1 out in the third, his first of the year. That is grounded foul. This was on a 2-1 pitch, 1 out in the third.
Change up. Goodbye.
Only question, would it stay fair? And it did. 373 feet down the line. And that is Ryota Igarashi. Just up today from AAA Las Vegas. And Torrealba could not check his swing. There is strikeout number 7 for Carlos Villanueva.
Well, Yorvi didn't think he swung, and I think what he was saying to Eric Cooper was, instead of calling it, check with the first base umpire. Maybe I would have gotten the call. But Cooper felt like he swung. Yorvi did not.
He had to pull that bat back quite a bit. That probably did look very much like a swing to Eric Cooper. So it was. There's 1 out. And here is Mitch Moreland, who singled in a run in the first, grounded to second in the third.
Toronto's had good pitching this year. Their overall team ERA is 6th best in the league, 3.75.
That looks like a strike.
I think he might have snuck through there. They've got the second toughest pitching staff to hit, 233 opponent's batting average, and the third toughest ERA for starters, 3.66. So their starting pitching has been very good. Overall pitching has been solid, and they're about where they should be with that kind of pitching, 24 and 21.
Hit high, deep center field. Rasmus on the warning track for out number 2.
Mitch just got under it a little bit.
He's been hitting him out too. This was almost his 4th homer in a 14 at-bat stretch. A little bit more right at the 404 sign. So 2 outs and back up to Kinsler. Walked and scored in the first, later doubled in the first, and struck out to end the third. Thirteen of the 44 pitches Brandon Morrow threw in the first were to the first batter he faced, and Kinsler ended up with a walk. Second on a wild pitch. Andrus walked behind him. They both scored on the Beltre single, and the Rangers were off and running to a 6-run first inning. Little looper. That will fall for a base hit out in short right field, and Kinsler has a 2-hit night. And the Rangers have their 10th base hit. Multi-hit nights for Kinsler and Beltre already. That'll bring up Elvis Andrus, who has walked twice and struck out. Fourth best hitter in the league in the month of May at .352. Villanueva featuring the first pitch curve, drops it in. Elvis had a terrific series up in Toronto, 7 for 14, multi-hit games in all 3 of the contests at Rogers Center. Cruz at second, Kinsler at first with 2 outs here in the bottom of the 5th. And out to Bautista in right field. And the Rangers leave 2. We head to the 6th. 8-0 Rangers. Which was, what is the American League record for consecutive pinch hits in a single season? Bill Stein, 7 in 1981, later tied by Randy Bush in 91, and most recently Ross Blode in 06. And on this day, some 31 years ago, Bill Stein set the American League record with his 7th consecutive pinch hit. Game-winning single, bottom of the 9th to beat the Twins 4-3. He brought out the first pitch to the mound tonight.
Now, most pinch hitters that are really good pinch hitters, and I think Steiny would say the same thing, they don't go up there taking a pitch. They go up there looking for the first good pitch they can see with the idea they're going to get 3 good swings one way or the other. Now, they might line one into center field to win a game before they get 3 good swings, but they're not going up there to take a pitch for the most part. I think you have to have that aggressive attitude if you want to be a really good pinch hitter.
Joel's going to find out about that record with Bill Stein in a moment.
Be a good question.
2-0 to Yunel Escobar, who has struck out and grounded into a fielder's choice. That's a high strike. Toronto shut out on 4 hits so far, 1 each since the 1-2-3 first, in which Holland struck out the side. Drops into curve, and it's 2-2. 1 Blue Jay past first base. That was Colby Rasmus on a 2-out double in the 2nd.
Good assortment of pitches from Derek. Sliders, curveballs, a couple of changeups, and good fastball.
Tried to bust him inside and missed to run the count full. Has worked pretty economically. 74th pitch at 3-2. Down the line. and slicing foul. The game's just about set to start out west. Angels at Seattle. Santana against Bevan. Yankees at Oakland. Nova against Ross. Oakland 5 games back of the Rangers. As the Rangers have basically treaded water, no one's been able to take advantage, make up much ground in the division. Called strike 3. Escobar started down the line, called back by Eric Cooper. Strikeout number 7. And let's go to Joel with Bill Stein.
Yep, we're here with the man that holds the record as a pinch hitter for consecutive hits. And Bill, you know, Tad was just talking about what it takes to be a good pinch hitter. What is it coming off the bench cold that allows you to hit like that?
Well, I think you have to go up and be aggressive, and that was my style, and I was successful at it. There's other pinch hitters that like to go up and see a pitch, maybe to try to get some timing. But I was never one to walk a whole lot anyway, so I went up, and the first pitch I saw that looked good, I was going to hack at it.
No 3-2 counts for you.
No 3-2 counts. No. I didn't really like to walk.
Well, now, as part of the 40th anniversary of the Rangers, you had a chance to participate in the ceremonies pregame. Tell us a little bit about that.
Well, that was a lot of fun, and I didn't know that was going to happen until a few weeks ago, and then they mailed me, you know, I saw it on my email, and I said, wow, what an honor. So I called some of my family, and they've driven in from Florida and Phoenix and places like that, so we're having a really good time up here.
All right, we got the whole suite up here. Bill,
Yes,
thank you
sir.
so much.
Hey,
And
you're
one thing
welcome.
you guys maybe didn't know is if you look on his record, you played just about every position except for catcher, didn't you?
Yes, in fact, in AAA one year, I played every position for Warren Spahn. Warren Spahn was my manager, so
Well,
that
just
was fun.
add that into the list of accomplishments, guys.
That was in Tulsa because I played in Denver when Steiny was in Tulsa playing for Warren Spahn.
That's got to be worth a few stories. What it was like playing for Warren Spahn.
No kidding.
Bill Stein, what a role he had, 1981. Bautista struck out and flied out. Looks at strike 3, number 8 for Holland.
If you're going to argue, that's probably a pretty good way to do it, peacefully. They were all strikes. Definitely where Derek was trying to throw Bautista down and in, according to our pitch tracks. Even though Jose didn't like the calls, they all looked like they were pretty good pitches. In fact, really nice pitcher's pitches. I could see why hitter wouldn't like them, but they looked like strikes.
2 outs. Here is Edwin Encarnacion, who has fly to right and singled. Holland has struck out the side once already. That was in the first. Chance to do it here in the 6th. 2-0. Just misses with a breaking ball. 3 balls and no strikes. Last time Derek was really sharp, May 10th at Baltimore. With 6 innings, 4 hit ball, 3 runs all unearned. And there's a strike to Encarnacion. Best outing at Cleveland, 7 1/3, 1 earned run. Encarnacion, like Yunel Escobar, had already started toward first base before Eric Cooper called him back. It's 3-2.
A lot of complaining by the Blue Jay hitters, but almost every pitch that we show on pitch tracks backs up Eric Cooper. Not good pitches to hit, but good pitchers' pitches, what kind of the name of the game if you're Derek Holland.
Now Encarnacion trying to disrupt the tempo a bit, perhaps. Sellout crowd behind Holland. Hit high and deep to left field. Murphy back, looking up, gone. And Encarnacion has his 15th home run of the year, ending the shutout at 5 2/3.
He hit a 3-2 curveball. Stayed with it nicely. He's having a good year.
Only Josh Hamilton has more homers.
Stayed with that, waited on it. I think Derek was hoping on the 3-2 pitch. He might not be ready for the curveball, but he waited for it nicely.
So 8-1. And here is Aaron Sebia, who was struck out, reached on a throwing error by Beltre. Roll foul. Camden Yards. Baltimore trying to finish off Kansas City. It's 8-2 Orioles in the top half of the ninth. Jeff Francoeur has homered. Former Ranger hits his fourth for KC. Baltimore 4 up on the Blue Jays in the East. 1-2 to Aaron Sebia. Reigning American League Player of the Week. JP hit .360, 4 homers, 10 runs batted in last week. 5 home runs in his last 9 games, 7 all told for the season. Come rapid fire of late. This one is a pop-up, though. And Michael Young fighting the wind, and he can't quite reach far enough for that last gust, and it blows it just out of the reach of his first baseman's mitt.
Yeah, all that wind can do that to a player. Make a routine play, anything but routine. Some of them just kind of stay right there and they're simple. Others kind of play games with you.
This is a no play. Started with gusts up to 28 miles an hour, and it is no calmer. If anything, wind's even blowing harder than when we got underway a couple hours ago. About as windy a game as we've had here this year.
Now, last homestand, it seems like there was a few games where there was hardly any wind at all.
There were.
That's pretty rare here.
Wind actually blowing out for one of those games. Also extremely rare out of the north.
We used to go have more games like this from here on in, now that the summer weather seems to be setting in.
Rather muggy 90 degrees with a gusting southerly breeze when we got started. Strikeout of Aaron Sebia, and Holland does strike out the side, but he also loses his shutout on the home run by Encarnacion. 9 strikeouts through 6 for Derek Holland. Brought to you by Sonic. Tonight's jackpot is worth $600 and dinner for 2 at a Sonic drive-in. And tonight the Rangers are hitting for Larry Newman from Garland. If a Ranger hits a grand slam during this inning, Larry Newman will win $25,000. You can register at any participating Sonic restaurant. And Hamilton, Beltre, and Young will face the third Toronto pitcher of the night, and it is Ryota Igarashi, who has just been called up today from AAA Las Vegas. 19 games for the 51s with a 129 earned run average.
I can't wait to see what his strikeout pitch is. 28 strikeouts in 21 innings. Only 3 walks. Sounds like a Ranger reliever. Opponents are only hitting 139 against him. Those are pretty gaudy numbers. Doesn't matter if those numbers are AAA numbers. Those are great numbers. Let's see what his pitch is. Probably a splitter. But he's got to have a dominating pitch to strike out that many.
Josh Hamilton has flied out, homered, and popped up. Home run landed in the upper porch in the second. 405 feet, his 19th of the year. And his 50th run batted in. First 2 miss from Igarashi. Carlos Villanueva went 4 1/3 innings. 2 runs on 3 hits. They were both homers. Torrealba as well. He struck out 7. Walked only 1.
Yeah, he threw the ball well. Great assortment of off-speed pitches. There's a pretty good pitch. That 95-mile-an-hour fastball. First 2 pitches were 86, so they were some sort of an off-speed pitch, either sliders or changeups.
All back 2-2. These are updated now. 1-2 in homers, Hamilton and Edwin Encarnacion. 1-2 in RBIs, in extra base hits, and 1-4 in slugging percentage.
Well, just to be in the neighborhood shows you the kind of year Edwin Encarnacion is having for the Blue Jays. Well, that appears to be the combination. 95-mile-an-hour fastball and whatever that last pitch is at 86 miles an hour. Some sort of an off-speed pitch. Looks like a slider. Although he's kind of kept him away. Backdoors, either backdoor sliders or changeups.
2-2 for Josh.
Every fastball he's thrown has been 95. Pretty straight fastball. Doesn't look like he's got a lot of movement on it. But he gets to the plate in a hurry.
Low and a full count. Igarashi from Chiba, Japan. 33. And this now an 8th pitch at bat. Igarashi played for the Tokyo Yakult Swallows from 99 through 09. This is earlier in the at bat. Josh reaching toward that right shoulder. Hopefully just trying to stretch it, not feeling a twinge or anything. And the 9th pitch, foul back at 95 miles an hour. Igarashi mostly a setup man first half of his career with the Swallows. Became the closer in 04. 37 saves that year. Mets signed him out of Japan in 09. Released him last October. Signed last December with the Pirates. Blue Jays got him at the end of spring training. Third year in the majors. Parts of the last 2 with the Mets. Fastball splitters. Been his main choice of weapons, and he misses outside, and Hamilton finally working a 10-pitch walk to lead off the 6th.
Well, thank you for the answer to my question. That off-speed pitch is a splitter, which is essentially a changeup, just a matter of how you grip it. It's like a combination of those two pitches is what he throws. Kind of like Koji Uehara. Fastball splitter.
It's been a good night for Adrian Beltre. 2-run single and scored a run in the first. Singled his last time up in between a strikeout. Tomahawks that one down the line and slicing foul. For a moment, as if maybe he was going to be able to keep that one fair. Not quite. First, he didn't think so. Then he started to wonder, and then that's where it ended up. Just a few steps down the line by then. That curve backs him away a bit.
There's something other than a fastball or a splitter.
Drops that one in, 1-2. 8 runs on 10 hits, 1 error, 6 left for the Rangers, 1 run, 5 hits, no errors, 4 left for the Blue Jays. 6-run Ranger first, the story. They chase Brandon Morrow, who got only 2 outs, throwing 44 pitches. And again, Beltre reaching up. Tomahawk that one straight back foul.
I swear every fastball he's thrown has been exactly 95 miles an hour. I haven't noticed one anything other than that.
You can see how he got the numbers he had at AAA, this combination.
High fastballs at 95. Off-speed pitches to go along with it, about 10 miles an hour less.
Two balls, 2 strikes. Young will be next. Igarashi had Tommy John surgery, costing him the entire 07 and part of the 08 season. All the way back. All the way right under the chin of Beltre, and it's 3-2.
There's 17 pitches coming up. 2 hitters.
Called strike 3. Beltre strikes out for the second time tonight.
Borderline.
Got a little Beltre shuffle, modified version. He's backing away from the pitch. So 1 out with Hamilton at first. Here is Michael Young, who has singled, grounded to second, and struck out. Again, Michael has the huge gaps to shoot for. If he pulls one into left field, he can run forever. Or to center field, lots of room over there with center fielder Rasmus way over in right center field, and Bautista shaded over toward the corner. That is a foul ball. Missed by a couple of feet. 0-2. in Baltimore is over, and the Orioles have beaten Kansas City 8-2. They improved to 29-17. Jason Hamill improves to 6-1, 278 earned run average.
I'm glad we missed him. He's having a good year. He was scratched from his start when we were in Baltimore.
Tweaked a knee. Chen, the loser for the Royals. Yankees scoreless in their half of the first at Oakland. Angels batting in the top of the first at Seattle. One-two pitch to Young. Base hit to left center. Hamilton headed to third, and the throw by Davis cut off. Runners on the corners with one out. Looking down at third as Hamilton arrives. Does not necessarily look all that comfortable upon arrival.
The sit-down slide. Now we saw Josh moving his shoulder around during an at-bat. He was running fine. I hope he's okay.
Big cut and a miss by Murphy.
There we go. A number other than 95, 96.
David a walk and a run in the first. Since then he has struck out and lined to right. First and third, one out in the sixth. Rangers looking to add to an already sizable 8-1 lead. And 0-2 to David. Also has gorgeous outfield assist. Threw out Encarnacion trying to stretch a single to a double in the fourth. Ball strike three. Igarashi has 2 strikeouts looking here in the inning.
Almost the same pitch that Beltre took, other side of the plate. No, actually the same side of the plate. The one was inside to Beltre. That was outside to David. Well, he might have been a couple inches off the plate, but those pitches that can go either way, obviously.
A really good night for Nelson Cruz. First inning, a bases clearing double. He is also singled and made maybe the catch of the year. Racing back to rob Brett Loring in the second.
Yeah, if it wasn't the catch of the year, it's definitely in the discussion for the catch of the year.
A strong nominee. Base hit center field. That'll score Hamilton, and it's 9-1 Texas.
Well, there's a good example of Nelly in a nice groove in tonight's game. That's a pitch, that part of the plate that on the last road trip, Nelly might have fouled off a couple of times. Today he's right on it. Slammed that pitch into center field. The double was a nice job of driving a pitch down and away to right center field. It's a pitch that hangs up right over the middle, and he didn't miss that one. He was right on it. Lined it right straight into center field. Good night for Nelly. 3 hits, all of them hit well, and a beautiful catch to go along with it.
He leads the American League. This is his 9th game of at least 3 hits. You think of it as a year of struggling for Cruz, but when he's been on games like this, he has been a dominant performer. So here's your Torrealba, 1 for 3. The 1 hit, his first home run of the year back in the third. He's also grounded to third and struck out. Looks like Josh is okay.
That was the sit-down slide.
Yes.
I think he's taking a little grief for it.
Telling everybody just how to execute that, should they ever want to try one of their own.
That's what I used to do the few times I used to go skiing back in Massachusetts when I got to the bottom of the hill. Didn't know how to stop, so you just sit down. Gradually you slow down. You know, he's smiling, but it probably hurts. There's nothing funny about it, but that doesn't matter in the baseball dugout.
Nothing in 2 to Torrealba. Checks his swing and gets a base hit. Not an RBI. Young is held at third. Good thing, because Rasmus fired a strike into the plate.
Yeah, Rasmus can really throw. Rasmus looks like he could pitch. Got a classic left-handed delivery. We've seen that swing a few times tonight. Elvis had one. Rajai Davis had one, I think it was. And now it's perfected by Jorvik with a line drive to center field off of it.
Same team that had a hard time getting any kind of base hit in Seattle. They're coming by the bushel tonight. So they're loaded up. And this is the Sonic Slam inning. And here is Mitch Moreland on a home run tear of late. 3 in his last 14 at-bats. He has an RBI single in this one.
The 30th pitch for Igarashi. It's been a struggle for him. First Blue Jay appearance tonight.
Mitch in the first singled in a run. He is also grounded out and flied out. DHing for the 4th time this year. 7 homers, 17 runs batted in for the year. Grounded foul, ball and a strike. Nelson Cruz has his 3rd 4 RBI night of the year. April 9th against the Mariners and May 13th against the Angels. We had a grand slam off Weaver. 32nd pitch from Igarashi. That's a strike, and it's 1-2.
I guess it was. That same location, whether it's a right-hand hitter or a left-hand hitter, has been a strike several times this inning.
Eric Cooper has had a consistent zone.
Yeah, Eric likes it. That's all that counts.
Not here. A little bit wide, 2-2.
I don't think Igarashi had many innings down in AAA where he's going to throw 34 pitches.
Started with a walk to Hamilton, struck out Beltre. Young single, struck out Murphy. Singles by Cruz and Torrealba since. And that is through the hole, a base hit.
That is through the shift.
Young comes home. 10-1 Texas.
Yep, shortstop shading right near second base. That's a ground ball to shortstop that beat the shift. See the hole, right straight to the shortstop. Oh, not there.
Second RBI single and 4 trips tonight for Mitch Moreland. Up to 18 runs batted in, and out comes Bruce Walton, the pitching coach. They are still loaded. Sonic Slam inning now moves up to the top of the order, and Ian Kinsler. A good night for Ian. Walked and scored in the first. He has doubled and singled, as well as retired on a strikeout by Villanueva back in the third. Been a while since he's gone deep. 25 games to be exact. 1 RBI in his last 16 games.
Igarashi might throw more pitches here in the 6th than Brandon Morrow had to throw in the first inning.
Getting close. That was 44 for Morrow. All that to get 2 outs. Not complete the first.
Well, Morrow's had a terrific season for the Blue Jays. He's an excellent young pitcher. He's going to have an excellent year. The Rangers just caught him on the right night. They got off to a bad start. with that at bat to Ian Kinsler. It cost him 13 pitches and a walk right off the bat to start the game.
That's how you get 10 runs, not quite through 6 innings. 6 of 13 with runners in scoring position tonight. Here's the 2-0 to Ian. Couldn't hold up. 2 balls and a strike. Moving outside, 3 balls and a strike and nowhere to put Kinsler. Cruz at third, Torrey Alba at second, and Moreland at first, and Jason Frazier getting to throw. In there, 3-2.
Must be getting tired. That was only 93 miles an hour.
Should be getting tired.
Yeah, I'm getting tired watching.
Loaded up with 2 outs and the 3-2 pitch. We'll have to do it again. 11 Rangers batted in the first. Kinsler's the 8th hitter here in the 6th.
All outside except the one for a strike. For the strike, too.
Pitch number 41 of the inning. 1 hopper. And that will take care of it and leave the bases loaded, but the Rangers get 2 more runs on 4 base hits, and we move to the 7th. It's 10-1 Texas. Option for the Fans Choice 20 game plan. Enjoy the flexibility of selecting the 20 games you want and choose from 10 locations starting at only $100 per plan. The Fans Choice plan available for a limited time at TexasRangers.com or by calling 972 Rangers extension 3. Packed house tonight. And they are enjoying themselves in a 10-1 Ranger lead as we move into the 7th inning. Derek Holland, season high 9 strikeouts. He struck out the side in the 6th. He also lost his shutout on a 2-run homer by Edwin Encarnacion. has not walked the batter. And here in the 7th, Rasmus, Laurie, and Gomes. Rasmus a double and a fly to right tonight. Rip to right, and Cruz started in and got the read. Drop back for the first out.
A well hit ball by Rasmus. He's had a couple of good at bats today. The double that he pulled right down the line. A nice swing at this line drive. Like the ball David Murphy hit. Line shot, but right at the right fielder. Some concentration, watching the ball all the way into the glove. Unlike the other play that he made where he couldn't watch the ball go into the glove.
I hope we see that again.
I could watch it all night.
First ball hitting. Laurie retired unassisted by Young. 3 pitches to get 2 outs here in the 7th. Boy, Tom, we ask and we receive.
All you have to ask. Watch Nelly. Ball carries, I think, because of the jet stream. Now watch Nelly right here. Oh, I think I'll stick my glove up just in case. That's a thing of beauty. Graceful.
Never give up on a play. Ball might stick in your webbing. Retiring Laurie. Highway robbery to end the 2nd inning. After the Laurie ground out, here's Jan Gomes, who has struck out both times. Big time return to form by Derek Holland tonight, who Saturday could not hold a 4-0 lead at Houston and lost 6-5. Lasted only 5 innings.
Yeah, it's kind of ironic. He had that 4-0 lead and really couldn't get the ball down. Gave up some home runs, lost the game, and then right off the bat today, he's got 6 runs in the 1st inning. Didn't phase him in the least, though. He's been terrific all night long. Whatever adjustments he had to make, he made them.
He's had some long waits in the dugout, too, while runs were being scored on his behalf. Come back out sharp every time. This is scattering 5 hits. 1 hit each of the innings, 2nd through the 6th. 1 man past second base. Pop up into shallow left. Andrews is out. And we'll make the call and the catch as the Blue Jays go in order in the 7th. Stretch time at the ballpark, 10-1 Texas. Brought to you by Sports City Toyota. Go to sportscitytoyota.com. We'll deliver anywhere in Texas. Dave Barnett, Tom Grieve, And the fourth Blue Jay pitcher of the night, veteran right-hander Jason Frazier, on to work the bottom of the 7th inning and face Andrews, Hamilton, and Beltre. Actually, it won't be Hamilton as Craig Gentry has come out the on-deck circle to bat for Josh.
Jason Frazier has been a solid reliever, mostly a setup reliever, but occasionally a closer for a number of years. Having another good year, 17 innings. He's only given up 12 hits. He's struck out 21. Not a tall guy for a right-hand pitcher, but he's got a good arm.
It's a new battery, as a matter of fact, for the Blue Jays, with Frazier now throwing to Gomes, who has moved from first base to replace Aaron Sebia. And replacing Yan Gomes at first is David Cooper, just up from the minors.
Just got called up.
So here is Andrews, who has walked twice, struck out, and flied out. Every time Frazier appears, he breaks his own club record, 475th all-time appearance. Third most innings, third most strikeouts among Toronto relievers all time. First game of the 3-game series and 6-game homestand. Turned the Rangers' way with a 6-run first inning. Brandon Morrow never made it out of the first. Through 44 pitches, 6 runs on 5 hits. Big blows, a Beltre 2-run single and a Cruz 3-run double. Carlos Villanueva pitched really well for 4 1/3 innings of relief, allowing homers by Hamilton and Torrealba. Igarashi touched for 2 runs in his marathon 6th inning. That is down the line, and it is a foul ball. $46,789, the 14th sellout of the year, third most franchise history. Tomorrow should tie the second most, 15 capacity houses in 1998.
Rangers might make a run for the major league attendance high this year.
They're right there on the heels of the Phillies.
Yeah.
They're only about 1,500 per game behind the Phillies. Backhand pick by Escobar, and a nice dig at first by the new first baseman Cooper for the out. Here is the Toyota Trucks on the road American League Baseball scoreboard. We told you Baltimore over Kansas City. Tampa Bay wins at Boston. Chicago in the bottom of the 7th. Big lead on the Indians. Detroit 10-5 top 7 at Minnesota. New York and Oakland in the 3rd scoreless. Seattle 1-0 over the Angels in the top half of the 2nd. Save huge on a new 2012 Tundra at your local Toyota dealer. So here is Gentry batting for Hamilton, who homered and walked, scored twice, flied out, popped out. And the first pitch again rolled out to Escobar.
Third baseman, Adrian.
Look back at this slide Josh took last inning. Not a smooth landing. Might have left it a little bit sore, and even if it didn't, it's 10-1. And this is when Ron Washington is going to look for a chance to get frontliners out, get them off their feet. So Hamilton, the first to be replaced. Frazier gets 2 ground outs, now faces Beltre. 2 for 4, 2-run single in the first, and he also scored that inning. Single in the 4th, other 2 trips he has struck out. He's got that tomahawk swing going tonight, going for the high stuff.
That's about the only way you can hit some of those pitches. Had the first big hit in the first inning, the 2-run single with men on second and third and 1 out.
Tom, you're talking about the Phillies. They're averaging 44,937. The Rangers before tonight were at 43,470. And that is a pace for over 3.5 million.
Wow.
Just under 3 million last year. Looks like that's going to be shattered this year. Long last. High cut again. Foul back. 1-2. Watching the team with the second largest lead of any division leaders. The Dodgers 6.5 up on the Giants in the National League West, and the Rangers 5 up on the A's in the AL West. They are now on the top of the third at Oakland, scoreless with the Yankees. Dodgers trailing at home 1-0 to the Astros in the bottom of the second. San Francisco lost at Miami 7-6. Elsewhere in the National League, Colorado over Cincinnati 6-3. Washington beat the Braves 7-4. Mets over the Padres 6-1. Pittsburgh 1-0 over the Cubs. Phillies and the Cardinals 3-3 bottom of the 8th in St. Louis. Milwaukee 4, Arizona 0 bottom of the 4th in Phoenix. And a pop that will again find the seats. Afternoon baseball next 2 days. 2 o'clock starts on Fox Sports Southwest. Tomorrow for Colby Lewis and Henderson Alvarez, and Sunday for Yu Darvish and Kyle Draven. Ripped over Laurie's glove and a base hit on a 3-hit night for Beltre. That is Jeff Mathis, a catcher who does not have a catcher's mitt on and is warming up as if he may come in as a pitcher. Could that possibly be, or are they just jacking around out there?
No, he wouldn't be doing that if he wasn't considering bringing him in to pitch. You know, you get to the point sometimes where you have to sacrifice at one game so that you don't have to sacrifice the next day, and he just doesn't want to use any more of the bullpen. The only guys that he's got left tonight: Darren Oliver, a short reliever; Casey Jansen, who's doing the closing; Francisco Cordero, late inning guy; and same with Luis Perez. So with a game tomorrow, if your starter gets knocked out early tomorrow, you don't have a whole lot of pitching. So most managers don't want to use a catcher or a position player to pitch, but sometimes there's not much you can do about it. I like it myself. I think it's fun for the players. You know, it's a game. It's a blowout. Ron Washington hates it. He would do it only as the ultimate last resort. But I think it's fun. It's fun for the fans to watch a position player try to pitch.
Wash says if he had to, his call would go to a guy who has pitched. College minor league level a little bit, Mitch Moreland, but he never wants to do it. Position players play positions. Pitchers pitch. Nice stop by Gomes. You saw Alberto Gonzalez running for Beltre, who finished tonight 3 for 5 with a run scored and 2 driven in. Alberto will take over at third. Three balls and a strike to Michael Young. 2 hits tonight, 2 runs scored. Singled off Morrow on the first and Igarashi in the 6th. Way out in front in the full count.
You know, there were times on the last road trip and during that 20-game stretch where Ron Washington had to use the bullpen extensively. But then you have an off day and you kind of get right back on track. You have the off day yesterday. Derek has gone 7. He's going to go out with a chance to go 8, which gives most of the bullpen another rest today. And you get right where you want to be.
A 3-hit night for Young. Adelson Gonzalez around to third base. Well, this has got to feel good for Michael. It's been under 200 for right at about a month. That's a very Michael Young looking stroke there. Fighting that pitch off for an opposite field hit. Career specialty of his. And it brings up Murphy, who walked and scored in the first, since then has struck out twice and lined to right. Frazier got the first 2 outs on grounders to short. Beltre and Young with singles keep the inning alive. Rangers have scored in 4 of the first 6 innings, all but the 4th and the 5th. Team that was shut out in 31 of their last 35 innings coming into tonight. A damn burst for Derek Holland with a 6-run first. Just in there for a strike, and it's 2-1.
I'm sure John Farrell wanted to use Ryota Igarashi for more than 1 inning. Just couldn't do it after all the pitches he threw. Carlos Villanueva went beyond the call of duty. Came into the game with only 17 innings and threw 4 1/3 tonight.
And now the Frazier pitch count getting up. This will be his 23rd. And it's 3-2. Rangers made quick work of one of the top pitchers in baseball. Brandon Morrow was 6th in the league with an ERA of 2.63 and 4th toughest to hit in the league with an average of 192. He was going to fall to 5-3 after giving up 6 runs in his 2/3 of an inning on 5 hits and 3 walks.
Well, that won't happen to him very often. But I don't care who you are throughout the course of a year. No matter how good you are, you're going to have a game like that. And you probably have 4 or 5 others that are close to it. Just tough to go out there every 4 or 5 days, 34 times in 6 months, and be so consistent you put up a gem every time. Just doesn't happen to anybody.
'25th pitch for Frazier, 3-2, is low, and the bases are loaded for Nelson Cruz. And it's already a 3-hit, 4 RBI night for Nelly. 3-run double in the first, and he scored the 6th Ranger run of that inning.
This is one of those games for a manager and a front office where you look and say, okay, when this game's over, are we going to have to make a roster move to bring in a fresh pitcher to have in case the starter gets knocked out early again tomorrow? One of those tough decisions. Or do you keep the roster the same? You count on your pitcher to go out and give you 6 or 7 innings tomorrow?
Especially because they just did that to get Igarashi out.
It's a tough call.
Burned him out in his 1 inning.
Igarashi might have earned a call right back to where he came from if they have to have another pitcher tomorrow. The thing that comes into play is whether you have options or not. Some guys you can't send out.
Makes for some long, late phone calls for a GM, doesn't it?
That's the part I miss the least. Just so nerve-wracking every game, trying to worry about those kind of things. Where's the AAA team? What time is it? How can we get the guy here for the game tomorrow? What city are they in? And you not only have to call the other manager, you have to call the traveling secretary. So many people are involved in those kind of decisions. Not to mention the fact you don't feel thrilled about sending a player down just because you need another player.
High drive. Right field, way back. And in the upper porch. A grand slam for Nelson Cruz. 8 runs batted in tonight for Nelly.
Hey, that's one of the longer home runs into the right field upper deck that a right-hand hitter has hit. Seen a lot of them hit up there by left-hand hitters. Not too many by right-hand hitters, though.
Oh, just 1 inning away from the Sonic Slam inning. Nelly has tied his career high with 8 RBIs. Went with the pitch. Bell tie outside half. He was pretty interested to see where that one was going to come down.
Oh, it's a good sign for Nelly. He's hit the ball well to right field tonight.
Three, 4 rows up in the upper porch. What a night with the bat and with the glove. His other 8 RBI game was against Toronto last July 22nd. And he does it tonight with 4 hits, 3-run double in the first, RBI single in the 6th, and this slam in the 7th to make it 14-1. 414 feet to the opposite field, Tom.
Yeah, I don't know that there's been another one hit much farther than that by a right-hand hitter in our ballpark.
The fact that it's Cruz that does it, a surprise to no one. The strongest men in baseball. Torrealba, 2 hits, including his first homer of the year. And he ends it with a strikeout. Frazier got 2 quick outs, 2 singles, a walk, and a slam. And we head to the 8th. It's 14-1. What a night for Nelly Cruz. Flashing a little leather. Nelson Cruz. This is just one of his many contributions tonight. Encarnacion thinks he's got a double. David Murphy thinks differently about it back in the 4th inning. A strike to Kinsley. Check out the really big sales event now at your Honda dealer. Nelson Cruz with the glove and with the bat. He has the Rangers' second 8 RBI game this year. Josh Hamilton with his 4-homer game at Baltimore. Cruz tonight. So 8th inning, and it's Davis, Johnson, and Escobar. Holland at 100 pitches, 73 for strikes. In fact, these are the only 2 8 RBI games in the majors this year. Hamilton and Cruz have them. Tom, most nights we'd be talking up the performance by Derek Holland.
It's been a good performance, and you mentioned earlier that he's had several long layoffs. Another one in the 7th inning. He's at 102 pitches right now. I wouldn't think that Wash would let him go too much farther than this in a 14-1 game. Yeah, kind of a telltale sign right there. First 4 pitches, last one at 88 miles an hour. Most of them weren't close.
That is his only walk tonight. He gets Mike Maddox out, and Mark Lowe has already been up throwing out in the Ranger bullpen. Yankees have put 3 on the board in the 3rd inning at Oakland. The A's now batting at the bottom of the 3rd. Mark Teixeira, a 2-run homer. Top of the 3rd, and Seattle, the Mariners 1 and the Angels nothing.
Nice hand for Omar Vizquel. Pinch hitting for Kelly Johnson.
The ageless wonder. Omar saying before the game he may just keep playing, or he may play 2 more weeks. Somewhere in there.
Well, Kerry Wood was probably saying the same thing when the season started. He just got to the point where he knew it was time, and Kerry retired a week ago. Omar may be in the same position.
Turned 45 a month ago yesterday. And pops this one up right behind second base. Kinsler's there for the first out. Well, whenever he does decide finally to hang him up, everyone in baseball expecting a managerial career to blossom for Omar.
Wash is going to make the change, and I think all he was waiting for was for Mark Lowe to get loose out in the bullpen. Mark is ready, and Wash will say nice job to Derek Holland.
Well, nice job indeed. 7 1/3 innings of 5-hit baseball. And this ovation. Season high 9 strikeouts, only 1 walk, and Mark Lowe comes in when we return to the ballpark. the run support came in gushes tonight. He strikes out a season-high 9 in 7 of the third innings. Allows only 5 hits. Walks only 106 pitches, 75 for strikes.
A lot of quality pitches there, and a good mixture of pitches, too. Not just fastballs. A bunch of good sliders, a couple of good curveballs.
One of those conversations you just wish you were in on.
That's why you love to play for Wash. How can you not love to play for a man who does the twist in the dugout during the game?
So here is low, and the first pitch to Yunel Escobar, driven into the right field corner. Davis will be held at third by Brian Butterfield on a double by Escobar, his first hit of the night. So second and third with one out for Bautista. Mark Lowe hasn't given up many shots like that this year.
No, it's been a solid year for Mark. Just another great strikeout to walk ratio in the Ranger bullpen, and a good opponent's batting average. That's pretty much the rule out there.
Ranger bullpen came into tonight with a streak of 6 2/3 consecutive scoreless innings. Since they left Toronto in the last 3 weeks, bullpen ERA is 1.73. For the season, it's the best in the majors, 2.03. Also the best opponent batting average, 195. Best strikeout walk ratio, 5.4 strikeouts per walk. Best on base percentage, slugging percentage, on and on and on. And 5 of the top 25 relief ERAs in the American League can be found out of the Ranger bullpen. Down 2-0 to Bautista. Struck out twice and fly to left. Major League home run leader each of the last 2 years. Davis at third, Escobar at second. And a roller past the diving Andrews. That will bring in 2 runs and make it 14-3. RBIs 30 and 31 for Bautista. Just placed far enough to Eldis's left. So the walk to Davis ends up as the second run charge to Holland. And the pinch runner is Eric Thames, who takes over for Bautista, finishing up his night 1 for 4 with the 2 driven in. And now Encarnacion. Encarnacion hit his 15th homer last time up in the 6th. In game number 46. Last year he hit his 15th homer in game number 114, August 31st at Fenway Park.
His big home run year was with the Reds a number of years ago. He hit 26 home runs. He's on his way to have by far his best offensive year of home runs and RBIs. Average is about what he is. He's about a 260 hitter in his career. He's right about that now. Probably 270 right now. 276 actually.
He's got more extra base hits than he has singles this year. 48 hits, 25 for extras, and that is ripped foul. 2-1. So the line on Holland, 7 1/3 innings, 2 runs on 5 hits, 9 Ks and a walk. And will improve his record to 4-3. 3-1 against Toronto last time. Three balls and a strike. Mark Lowe had been scored on only 1 of his last 10 games. And this is only the third time in 15 outings this year in which he's been charged with a run. In there at the knees. 3-2. Mariners have a run, still batting bottom of the third. They now lead the Angels 2-0. Diving stop, Gonzalez just in time to get Thames at second.
I swear Alberto makes a nice defensive play every time he plays, and it doesn't matter what position it is, second, short, or third. That's why Ron Washington is so comfortable playing him, because he knows he's a really solid defensive player wherever he puts him.
He's had some good moments at the plate as well this year.
Yep.
So 2 outs. Encarnacion on the fielder's choice at first. And this is David Cooper, who came in last inning at first base. Jan Gomes moving from first to catcher, replacing Aaron Sebia. JP was 0 for 3 with a couple of strikeouts tonight. Cooper's chop appeared to glance off Lowe's glove.
Wow.
Fielded by Andrews, and he guns him down.
What a play by Elvis. What a great play by Michael to make that scoop. That was a difficult play by Michael.
A little trouble getting it from glove to throwing hand, but in time to end the Blue Jay age. Up and down that group. Look at all the multi-hit games led by Cruz's 4 hits, including a grand slam, 8 RBIs, tying Josh Hamilton for the most in the American League this year. 3 hit nights for Beltre and Young. 2 hits apiece, Kinsler, Torrealba, and Moreland. And here is one of those very rare occasions where a position player will be called into duty on the mound, and on to work the 8th inning is catcher Jeff Mathis.
You know that Mathis has a good arm. Every catcher has a good arm. Otherwise, you couldn't be a catcher. He popped that first one in there at 85 miles an hour.
This is the 7th time, now the 8th time in Toronto history non-pitcher has pitched. Bob Baylor did it 3 times in 1980. That is trouble unless Davis can get there, and he can't. There's Thames now out in left field. And it's a double for Mitch Moreland, and he joins the 3-hit club. RBI singles for Mitch in the 1st and the 6th. Now the leadoff double. Blue Jays last year used shortstop Mike McCoy as a pitcher. Craig Cusick did it in '79. First baseman, outfielder Rick Leach. Well, Rick Leach was a quarterback at Michigan. That's not quite the same thing. He's used to throwing it, but he was an outfielder in 1984. Frank Menachino in 2004, and Jeff Mathis here.
I always like to see if the position player has a breaking ball. Saw Chris Davis pitch for the Orioles the other day, and he did.
And a changeup.
Yeah, he pitched like a pitcher. I'm sure in this particular case, Mathis is just throwing at 84 miles an hour. Try to throw it over the plate and get it over with. Hope he hits it at somebody.
And hoping that Eric Cooper is as ready as everybody else to get this game done with.
If there's ever going to be an expanded zone, I would think now is when it would be. It's 14-3.
That's a pretty friendly zone. Well, there is no mention in Jeff Mathis's bio of having pitched even in his amateur years. Doesn't mean he didn't do it. Still 2-2 to Kinsler. Chris Davis threw a change to retire his former teammate Jared Saltalamacchia that game in Boston, and he said Salty didn't like that too much, so he didn't throw any more changes. Rip at a high, hard one at 87.
I don't think Chris was too worried whether Salty liked it or not. Do you?
Shouldn't have been.
The game was on the line. It wasn't a situation like this.
He got a couple of solid innings. First position player to get a win as a pitcher since 1968. Rocky Colavito, then a Yankee. And that's too high even for Eric Cooper here. 3 balls, 2 strikes. Popped up. Escobar. Mathis has his first out. Baseball encyclopedia, he will have a registry as a pitcher now. And here's Elvis Andrus. Walked twice, struck out, flied out, and grounded out. Last 2 years in a row, the Angels traded catchers to the Blue Jays. Mike Napoli didn't remain a Jay for long, less than a week before coming here. And he split catching duties with a number of years with the Angels. Mathis on the mound. Angels lost the man that they got from Colorado to replace them. Sayonetta to injury.
Yu Darvish believes in the titanium dots. Had them sprinkled all over his right arm.
What's the theory behind that? You know,
I'm not sure. I think it's maybe to increase blood flow. I'm not sure.
If he thinks it works, then it works.
Hey, I wear one of the necklaces just in case it works. Figure it can't hurt.
Ball 4 to Elvis. He has his third walk. 2 on with 1 out for Craig Gentry.
Center fielder, Craig Gentry.
Gentry grounded to short last inning against Fraser. And Yoshi Tateyama getting ready for the 9th inning out the Ranger bullpen. 14 runs on 18 hits now for Texas. Mathis continues not to be able to get the ball down.
Yeah, he can. Everything's waist high or above. A position player's just not used to being on top of a mound. All the throwing they do is on flat ground.
It's a little more like it. And Thames will come in. And there's out number 2. So Moreland at second, Andrews at first. And here's Gonzalez. Alberto in the run for Beltre after his third hit, a single in the 7th. Rangers got all 4 of those runs after 2 quick outs from Fraser. Beltre and Young single. Murphy walked to load him up, and Cruz unloaded him with an upper porch opposite field grand slam of 414 feet. Capping an 8 RBI 4-hit night. RBIs jumped from 23 to 31 tonight for Cruz. That's hit well to left. Thames is back on the track, and he brings that one in. So a scoreless 8th turned in by Mathis. Works around that leadoff double by Moreland.
The only pitcher for Toronto that had a scoreless inning.
Continues here in Arlington, and the Rangers will turn back the clock to 1986. Be one of the first 30,000 fans to arrive for the 6:15 start and receive a Nolan Ryan retro t-shirt from Sweet Baby Ray's. Get your tickets before they're gone at TexasRangers.com. So on for the 9th inning, Yoshi Tateyama. Tateyama called up on Monday when Neftali Feliz officially went on the DL. His work that night against Seattle, 2 innings a run. First up in the Blue Jay ninth, Colby Rasmus, who has doubled and flied out twice, and this line drive right out there to David Murphy. 1 quick out for Yoshi. Mark Lowe went 2/3 of an inning, gave up a run on 2 hits. Derek Holland 7 1/3, 2 runs on 5 hits. Laurie is 1 for 3. Cruz robbed him on that catch back in the second. Really got to think, find out, really think what's the best moment for Nelson Cruz. Even with a grand slam to the upper porch opposite field, that catch still stands out. And the only other Ranger to have an 8 RBI game in Arlington. That includes the Arlington Stadium days. Jose Canseco, June 13th, year one of the ballpark, 1994, in his 3-homer night against Seattle, a night in which he hit the target sign out left. Cruz has matched that tonight with 4 hits, a 3-run double in the first and a grand slam in the 7th. Tatayama, the end of spring, had to go on the DL with a low back muscle strain. Pitched extremely well with Round Rock. And gets a call, strike 3 for out number 2.
Started out looking like it was going to be inside, but it just kept on curving till it caught the inside corner. Well, that's that same spot.
Yeah.
Eric Cooper likes that spot. It's been a strike all night long.
Pitchers want consistency. He has provided that tonight. Colin 1 out from improving his record to 4-3, and a swing and a miss by Gomes, who is 0 for 3 with a couple of strikeouts. Nothing in 2. Oakland a run, still batting bottom of the 4th, trailing the Yankees 3-1. Bottom of the 4th in Seattle, Mariners 2, Angels nothing. And here, 46,789 on their feet. Hoping for the last strike right here. A little bit wide. th capacity house of the season here at the ballpark. Rolled to short. Andrus across, a 1-2-3 ninth for Tatayama. A 14-3 win for Derek Holland and the Rangers.
That was a nice comeback win for Derek after a disappointing outing in Houston. He made the necessary adjustments and came back firing strikes with all his pitches. He had a good fastball, but he got a number of strikeouts with his slider. He also had a good curveball. He pitched deep into the ball game. Everything you want to see from your starter, Derek provided tonight. It was also a game that found him with a big lead right off the bat. It was a 4-run lead in Houston, 6-run lead tonight. And he pitched like it was nothing to nothing all the way. Ended up giving up only 1 run. That was a 3-2 curveball that Encarnacion put a nice swing on and hit a home run. For Encarnacion, it was his 15th home run.
We'll have more, including a chat with Nelly Cruz. Stay with us here on TXA 21.